In this video, we're going to show you how to install the driver's side front power window motor on the driver's side door. This fits the 2005 through 2010 Chrysler 300. This is specific for the models with RPO code JPD, one touchdown feature. On the inside of the driver's door handle right here, if you pull this out, there's a little plastic cap right here. We're going to use our pick, just go into the top of it, and go ahead and just work that cover out. Once that's open, you're going to find a Phillips head screw right there. Let's go ahead and loosen and remove that. Across the bottom of the door panel, you're going to find 3 Phillips head screws. Let's go ahead and loosen and remove those. Once you have those 3 out across the bottom, if you follow it right up or on the front side of the door, there's one more up here. You want to go ahead and loosen and remove that. Now right on the side here, there's going to be 2 plastic push pins here. I want to go ahead and just press in on the center of these here. With that release, go ahead and use your trim tool. Come around behind the door panel and pop those buttons out. Pop those buttons out and just set them aside. Next, you want to grab the door panel and we're going to gently pull it up and away. Now as we separate this here, I'm going to come around to the other side, and there is a door handle rod right here. You want to go ahead and push this little clip off towards the door. Lift that rod up and away. And down inside we have a series of connectors. We want to go ahead and disconnect those next. And go to the window switches. Do the same thing, press in on those little spring tabs. And use our pick to lift up on this little tab right here to pop that one out. I'm using my pick to assist in pressing down on these tabs. Now they're all disconnected, go ahead and set that panel aside. Using your trim tool, go ahead and pop up this harness. Come down to the large bulk harness here, and there is a clip right in the back here. Pop that out as well. At this point here, we can now go ahead and start to remove the water shield. Now the water shield is held on with an adhesive, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a razor blade and I'm going to gently start to cut back on the adhesive. You want to be careful not to cut yourself, any of the wiring on the door, and just going to work our way around the perimeter till we can go ahead and get access inside the door itself. going to go ahead and remove our water shield here. Now it's okay if yours is crumbled like this here. You could always source a new replacement, but we have another way to install it, and we'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So at this point here, we had removed our water shield off the back side of the door, and we went ahead and reconnected our wire harness to the door panel, our power window switch and the module. The reason why we had to do the module as well is that the two front doors run through the module as well as the switch. Now go ahead and raise up your regulator. You want to go ahead and make sure you gain access to this bolt right here. This is the bolt for the clamp securing the glass of the back side of the regulator, and over towards the front side there's going to be another one right through this port right here. We want to go ahead and loosen these bolts. We're not going to remove them. Once those are loose, we can lift the glass off the regulator, and we're going to secure them to the top of the door frame. Using our 10mm socket, let's go ahead and loosen this bolt. And do the same over here. Now at this point here, we want to go ahead and secure our glass. We want to go ahead and grab that glass. We can raise it up. We're going to use our suction cups here. You can use tape. Just go up and over the top of the door. This is going to hold our glass up in place, so now we can go ahead and remove our window regulator. Now that we have our glass secured, we now want to go ahead and disconnect all of our wires here, get this door panel out. I'm going to go ahead and use our trim tool. We're going to go ahead and pop this retainer off there. And let's go ahead and just tuck this harness up over here. Using our Phillips head screwdriver, we want to go ahead and remove our speaker from the door. There are 4 screws, 1, 2, and there's 2 on the other side. I'm going to hold that speaker so it doesn't flop out on you. Pull that out. On the bottom side, you can find your speaker wire. There's a little spring tab on the back side. Simply press in that spring tab, disconnect that, and set your speaker aside. Now inside this speaker hole right here, we're going to find the window motor. And here is the connector right there we need to disconnect. There is a red locking clip. We need to push that up and off, and then we can push in on this tab right here and disconnect the motor itself. There are 5 bolts we want to pay attention to. We want to go ahead and loosen. There's one up top here, one down the bottom, one in the middle. There's this one on the upper right, and there's one down right behind where the speaker was. So let's go ahead and work on those. This upper one we're just going to loosen. Remove this one. Remove the middle one. I'm going to remove the lower right. We're going to loosen the upper right. Now the 2 upper ones have slots where we can actually manipulate the regulator to pop out, and then we're going to work this out. We're going to go ahead and remove this bracket. Loosen this here. Slide that bracket out like so. Set it aside. Now we can go ahead and work that regulator out here. Now I want to go ahead and swap our motor onto the new regulator. So we're just going to go ahead and flip this over. You're going to have access to 3 T30 Torx bits. We're going to go ahead and use our unit here. Loosen and remove these. Once you have that all set, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to go ahead and wiggle our drive unit off of this here. You want to take your motor, make sure that the gears are in good condition here. They're going to line up onto this unit. Make sure that your screw holes here line up with the mounting bracket. Press that down into place. Now I want to flip this over and install our screws from the back side. And go ahead and tighten those down. On the top of the regulator beams here, I want to go ahead and loosen these 2 bolts. These are the ones that slide into the notch to hold it in place. On our glass clamps here, I want to go ahead and loosen the bolts here. Go ahead and open that up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other side. Let's feed the motor in first. I'm going to make sure that the regulator is on this side of the glass when you go to install these components here. Slide that up into that. We'll get this one lined up here. Now that we have the 2 bolts up top securing that in place, we can go ahead and start the other bolts. And then get these started by hand first. And then we'll go back and we'll snug them all down. I'm going to start with the uppers first. Middle, and 2 bottom ones. Now that the regulator is secured, we're going to go ahead and reconnect the harness for the motor. We're simply going to press this on, snap it on, and then press our red lock button down to secure it in place. That's all set. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and lower our glass down into our clamps here. So what we're going to do is apply some pressure on the glass to keep it from sliding. Now pop that and slowly lower this down. This should go right into the clamps here. Once the glass is seated inside the track here, we're going to go ahead and tighten down these bolts. Just want to make sure that those are snug. This lower left bolt right here, we're going to remove this. Going to go ahead and slide this bracket up inside. Tighten that down. And tighten that down. Go ahead and take your speaker connector, snap that on. Let's go ahead and get that speaker set up in there. And we're going to get one screw started here. Let's get that started, a few threads, and then we'll get the other 3 installed. With all 4 screws installed, let's go ahead and snug them all down. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and feed our actuator rod through here. Slide this on over. Let's go ahead and get this in its general vicinity. Going to pop that there for now. Now we use a general heavy tape on this here. We're going to go ahead and put some more on here to try and seal this up a little bit better. Now this doesn't have to be pretty. I want to go ahead and just seal this general area off. Bring that harness up. Get that installed there. We're going to put your key in, and we're going to lower our glass all the way down. We want to go ahead and get our actuator rod hooked up on the back of the handle. And let's go ahead and hang the door. Once we have that door panel pressed down and in, let's go ahead and install this screw up by the handle and the 3 across the bottom. And then push that little button in on the top. And then we'll install our last screw. It's on the front side. We have that button in. Let's go ahead and put the center in, push that in, lock it in. I'm going to do the same for the gray one here. We're going to pop out the center. Go ahead and line this up. And press in the center, lock it in. Now, if your particular vehicle had one down below here, you want to go ahead and do the same there. We're going to repeat the same process for the other side of the door panel. Now, once we have everything together, go ahead and test out your window there. Make sure everything operates properly. And everything is working good for us. At this point here, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.